get off that. Do not need that. Should be better. Yep. Got it going. Give it a few more minutes. Finally on fucking time this time. Make a mistake. 30 seconds. Finally on time is what I was going to say. I actually think I beat the 30-second mark. Good. Let's try that out. A little bit better there. Let it stream up a little bit, load up. Let's see. Yeah. That should be all right. There we go. Might be a little bit better. All right. Guess we're going to go ahead and get on into the shit. Welcome once again to Curious Unapologetic Man, as it is tonight. We'll go through a little bit of smart news. I talked so much about retarded women, so tonight we're going to be talking about men and how you should not be retarded, and ways you cannot be retarded when you're approaching or when you're in a relationship with somebody. Things how you should treat a woman, basically. We'll cover Bonnie Blue scandal yet again. Yay. We love to talk about her. No, we don't, but it's demonic, disgusting. Then I just got just general thoughts on the concept of passion, what the difference between passion and obsession is, pros and cons, that general kind of shit. Just general conversation, Of course, I'm bringing the sass. I'm bringing the craziness for sure. So enjoy. You'll definitely enjoy that, I'm sure. and bring some comedy, talk about some of these Smartnews App things, and as we do, that's the get. That's a stick. All right. So first thing we got is crazy bitches. They are out there. Try to avoid them if you can. Uh, this woman's her ex is pressing charges against her for giving him the most eventful month of his life. Yeah, eventful is not the word that I would use. Stressful, problematic, fucked up. Like after reading all these and you listen to all this, you're gonna agree with me, I'm sure. Eventful is definitely like the wording of somebody who's like, well, she did nothing wrong. She did exactly what she needed to do to get his attention and to pay him back. That's just what I get from that. Personally, I think what she did is beyond criminal or beyond civil lawsuit. I think this would be criminal charges. But that's my opinion. I ain't no fucking lawyer. So let's go here. So after the TikToker Simaj gave her ex the most eventful December of his life. Yeah. Again, eventful sounds like you're going on like 3-4 vacations that month. And during those vacations, you're going on tour after tour. You're sightseeing. You're swimming with sharks. You're swimming with dolphins. You're fucking catching tuna. You're seeing whale. You're fucking climbing mountains, seeing Machu Picchu, Sacsayhuaman. You're fucking going to Egypt. You're meeting with prime ministers, and diplomats of some sort. You're fucking partying 90% of the month. You're fucking crushing it in whatever field that you're doing, and everybody's congratulating you, and you're moving up in positions. Maybe you meet a new partner. Maybe you meet 4. Like that's what eventful kind of states. Now, this bitch using eventful very weird. She carefully handcrafted 30 problems for her ex and carried them out each day throughout the month of December. On day 1, she superglued his car's gas tank shut. Criminal. That's destruction of private property. On the second day, she wrote a letter to his mother about a child he had been keeping secret for 5 years. She made up the whole story. Slander. On the third day, she sent flowers to her workplace along with a note from the sponsor implying he had relapsed over the weekend. Slander. On day 4, she had random people show up at his house during all hours of the night so he would get little to no sleep. The sleep deprivation caused him to behave similarly to an addict the next day at work. Harassment. On day 5, I made a Tinder profile as a down low man who loves aggressive men and asked that they text him and said if he responded negatively, it means his girlfriend's nearby and they should try again later and to send pictures of their junk. I believe that would also classify as harassment. 6th day, she committed fraud. She wrote a letter to the bank that he was financing his car through, pretended to be him, voluntarily surrendered his vehicle. They literally call it out here. Fraud. Like that's a criminal charge. 7th day, wrote another letter to his landlord, put to the point of view of a concerned neighbor, mentioned that strangers were showing up at all hours of the night and was worried he might be dealing drugs. Slander. Day 8, she created a wedding registry so that any woman looking to date him would think he was cheating. Borderline slander, probably not actually. She convinced her ex that he had a stalker on the 9th day and then mailed him an official-looking letter notifying him of an investigation for drug smuggling. I don't know what that would be. I suppose impersonating an official, an officer of some sort. She mailed him a letter from the Department of Public Health. That is actually fraud or like impersonation of a public official. So 12th day, married mailed a postcard from a fake erectile dysfunction clinic about a missed appointment to his workplace. I don't think that matters too much at all. Day 13, I entered his home, injected his mattress with milk, breaking and entry, and destruction of property. Holy shit, this chick is fucking insane. Signed him up for Scientology courses, sent him a fake voodoo doll. She pretended to be his wife and called to get his utilities shut off. I don't know. That's got to be some sort of criminal shit. 17, posed as a nursing home, informing his grandma that she'd been accepted to a nursing home. Day 18, sent him a fake obituary warning that he might be in danger. She called his office and left a voicemail saying that he got the dream job he applied for and could start right away. Called his job. Day 20, messaged his family and friends with fake documentation of him making donations to radical groups. This is slander again. Day 21, created a social media profile and wrote a detailed confession about how he's attracted to his own mother. Defamation of character. After that, day 22, called a close family members, pretending to be a life insurance company, notifying them that he had tried to take out several policies on them. Day 23, she rescinded the offers from her dream job, told him that the people in his close circles did not have nice things to say about him. Emailed his landlord to give a 30-day notice that he was moving out. Reported him deceased to his bank on day 25, so his accounts would be frozen. She told his mother's church all about how he had forced her to get rid of her pregnancy, painted him as a deadbeat father, put up flyers, sent him an anonymous email that someone was out to get him. Then she called to have a mental wellness check, and he was committed to a facility. Eventually, that's fucking wild. Surely not true. But there is a good chance that it is probably true, that this has actually happened. Maybe not from this exact TikToker. Maybe she didn't actually do it, because if she did and she's like documenting all of it through the podcast or through the TikToks, she's fucking retarded and crazy. She should be committed. Holy shit. What an eventful month. Yeah, sure. Eventful is the way that I would describe it. Traumatic. Yes. Like, I ain't never dating a bitch again. Ever. If that shit happened to me. Like, I would be scared. Petrified to date again. Bitch gonna be crazy. All right, here we go. DC unveils new trans Wonder Woman, and she's perfect. That's what this fucking... So it's a woman who transitions to a man, right? I don't know if you all know this or not, but I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Amazonians don't give birth to men. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they don't. So this is interesting to me. The new Wonder Woman, transgender DC hero who takes Diana's place in Themyscira. While Princess Diana of Themyscira is DC's avatar of truth and peace, several extraordinary women have stepped forward to claim the mantle of Wonder Woman. Look, instead of just making her transgender, listen, we're going with superheroes, right? Aliens, superpowered women, fucking, like ridiculous science that's not true. So, like, instead of making her transgender, just, I don't know, make it a genderless alien. No crotch, no vagina, no butthole even. They just don't shit, piss, anything. I mean, why not? If we're going off the deep end here, or did you make it transgender to try to make it realistic-ish? If so, it's not Wonder Woman. It's Wonder Man. I'm pretty sure that if it's a transgender woman, it's a transgender man. It has to be a transgender man. So girl transition into a man, which kind of takes away from like the whole girl boss attitude. But if you're trying to tell me that she gives birth to a man, let's figure this out real quick. Do the Amazonians in DC Comics reproduce? Let's see here. Okay, Wonder Woman herself was sculpted from clay and brought to life by the gods. So Wonder Woman herself is just Wonder Clay. Who the fuck knew? In 2011, darker method, Amazonians would raid passing ships and copulate with the men. They would kill the men, throw the bodies. Any female babies born were raised by Amazons, and the male babies were sacrificed. Okay, and the DC rebirth in the modern continuity, raiding method was heavily retconned out, restoring the Amazons' honorable and peaceful transitions. Comic continuity shifts, their exact reproductive processes are frequently redefined to fit modern stories. How about fucking not? How about fucking not? How about we just stick with the original story and we just make do with that? Sounds good to me. So that means Wonder Woman sculpted a clay figure of a man, Amazonian, for whatever fucking reason. Don't know. I don't know. It's a fucking race of women. Superpower, super strong women. So she built a statue of a man, brought it to life. We're going with the original because fuck the retcon shit and the fucking changing shit. Like, fuck all that. No, go with the original. Stick with the original or write your own fucking story. How about that? So she created a male statue, brought it to life, and it was like, no, I need to be a woman like you all. I have to be a woman just like you guys because a man is not good enough. Being a man is not good enough. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, men for the win, baby. Boys for the win yet again. We take it off. Fucking straight men. Straight male in the motherfucker DC Comics, baby. Now the strongest woman in the DC Comics is now a man. Enjoy that sweet fucking nuggets of fucking justice. Yeah, feminism. Woo! Fucking retards. I ain't even continuing to read this because the whole thing is fucking ridiculous. Like, we're just going to rewrite the story. We're going to write another character with the same name. Going to change everything about the story, original story of that original character that we are now naming this new character after. Yeah, no. If you want a new Wonder Woman, write it the same fucking way it was originally wrote. Use the original storyline to create your new Wonder Woman. How would you do it? I don't fucking know. But you definitely ain't gonna fucking tell me that Diane had a fucking a boy, kept it, raised it, and then it was like, you know what? Being a man's just not good enough. I have to be a woman. I have to take after my mother. Like, that's crazy shit. That child's crazy. Be yourself, bro. Just seems fucking weird to me. Just seems strange. Don't understand it. Don't get it. Whatever. There we go. We got one. Hold on. Cheers. Give me a minute. Got to get some shit going. Oh, this story needed another drink. Needed another drink at least. Because this is fucking wild. And yes, this is definitely some fucking jealousy speaking here. And that's okay. That's okay. LA affairs. Oh my lord. I went on 53 first dates in one summer. You say what? You say what? To all nobody who's listening out there in LA, avoid Lisa Page Rosenberg. Stay away from her. If you see her on a Tinder app or you see her on a dating app, report that bitch. That's wild. I went on 53 first dates in one summer. Here's a look at my spreadsheet. Three years after my second divorce. Hey, y'all. Guess who decided to end those divorces? You guys take a guess. Who you guys think probably, maybe, definitely ended those divorces? Who chose to end those divorces? You guys choose. You guys comment, tell me, let me know. I definitely know. Well, not definitely, but probably definitely. No, exactly who ended those divorces. I went on 53 dates in one summer. That's a 5 and a 3. 53. Let's give her 4 months. Let's give her 4 months for summer. You know what? Fuck that. I ain't being generous. 3 months. That's what you get. 3 months summer, 3 months fall, 3 months winter, 3 months spring. 12 months. 3 months. 3 months. That's 90 days. 93 at the goddamn most. Okay, we're talking 93 at the most. 53 out of the 93 days. 53 out of the 93 days. This bitch went on a date. And not just with one person. Not just with a few people. 53 different people. 53 different people did not meet her fucking list of demands for a second date. 53 people, at least 52 for sure. Maybe the 53 did get a second date, but at least 52 people in 93 days. She said, "You're not worth a second date." I repeat, 3 years after her second divorce, this bitch is pushing 35, 37. She ain't got no fucking eggs. 52 times she said, "You're not worth a second date." And I would bet 50, at least 50 of those 53 times, she didn't pay a goddamn dime. Not a damn dime. So 53 days, this chick got a free dinner. Drinks also, I'm assuming. This is why. That's wild. I had a system. The system involved a spreadsheet. I kept track of what I wore and what stories we shared to avoid repeating myself in case there was a second or third date. There were exploratory follow-up dates, but it usually took only one to know. Yeah, this bitch knows all about you and all about your potential and all about everything that you are as a person from one date. She can tell from one date the exact type of underwear that you wear. She knows what your mom's name is. She knows what you did when you were 17. She knows exactly what you went through as a child. She knows exactly what you'd be willing to do in the case of an emergency. She knows everything there is to know about you. She has made her decision that exactly who you are in 3 hours of a first date. In which let's go back here. I put on my first date uniform. Uniform? Nice, but not trying too hard. These guys worked multiple hours to take your ass out at a job that most of them probably hate. And your ass didn't want to try too hard. And then you had the fucking balls, the cojones, the gall of a cunt to be like, "Yeah, I know exactly who you are after 3 hours of one date. There is no chance of ever us potentially work." Second divorce makes sense. It makes sense. A third and a fourth is coming down your way, woman. Coffees and lunches and dinners of that season flicker in my mind like a rom-com video montage. Wild. Wild. Because every rom-com that I've ever seen, there's like 3 guys, maybe 3 guys. 5 is crazy. 53 is disgusting. There were some average dates, plenty of nice guy, zero chemistry dates. Those are called good guys. Strange, but I'm the guys who are like socially awkward a little bit, not terribly too social awkward. You get there's a scaling problem there. Nice guy though, that that's usually a reliable person. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Who the fuck knows? Here are the notables. An extremely tall minor league baseball player. He said no more than 4 words the entire meal. Managed to chat up our waitress. How many words did you say to him? That's what I want to know. How many words did you say? How many times did you try to strike up conversation? He's paying for the meal. He chatted up the waitress. I bet the waitress said more than 4 words to him. I bet the waitress tried to initiate conversation as much as possible with him. Did you? Also, what a piece of shit, dude. If you notice it's not going to go well, dude, as a dude, you just be like, listen, you seem really nice. The waitress is much more my style. She's much more outgoing and willing to talk and everything. So I think quiet and irritable TV editor I met at Guadalajara on Olympic Boulevard. Ordered chicken mole. During the meal, he had a panic attack, excused himself to call his therapist. He actually told me this. Oh, an emotionally vulnerable man? I guess they don't want us to be vulnerable, man. Their experimental video director with the white faux hawk I met at Go Get 'em. Spent the day in an hour-long monologue about his ex-wife, stopping only to show many, many photos of Julia. Bro, get over your ex. It's okay. Stop talking about her. Move on. There's other ones out there, better ones. It's a young man. He's a struggling writer, actor, production assistant. He confided that he had looked up my name on Internet Movie Database and noticed that I was a producer. He then proceeded to pitch me an animated. Oh, okay. Boss bitch. She's a producer. She's a boss bitch. He bought 3 mixed CDs, Radiohead and Elliott Smith. So she adjusted her dating profile because I was apparently coming off as depressed. You mean a normal, happy person doesn't go on 53 dates in 93 days at the most? A English tutor who fixed her grammar constantly and told her that she should appreciate that. Fake. I don't believe you, bitch. High hopes. Trendy, bearded sports photographer. Had high hopes, made plans for a second date. But then things started unraveling once we realized I had already dated his younger brother. The fuck? That's on you. Bitch, you went on 53 dates. You're going to come across family members at this point. Holy shit. Yeah. Cousins, brothers, uncles, nephews. Fuck, you might even get a niece or two who's transitioned. Shit. It's wild. I'm just saying. All right, at this point, I'm no longer jealous. I'm just flabbergasted. Like, holy shit. A producer, 2 divorces, close to 40. Close to 40, for sure, expecting the absolute man of her dreams, and 85% of the perfect man is not enough for this woman. Wouldn't be enough. Here we go. One last one, then we'll move on. Fucking get the shit started. So, women are revealing the subtle forms of relationship abuse that often go unnoticed, and it could help you recognize the warning signs. First thing I want to point out is what are some non physical signs of abuse in relationships that are easy to overlook? Abuse is not the word. Abuse is not the word. Manipulation, control, uh, name calling. Abuse is not the word. Abuse is a pretty remarkable term. It's actually a pretty narrow term. It's not a broad term. It's not something that you can just easily do to somebody. To abuse somebody is like, you don't say that you abuse a child because you're like, I want to know where you're going. I want to know who you're going with and what you're doing. That's not abuse on a child. It would also not be abuse to a person at all. Controlling, sure. To tell a child that he's an idiot for driving drunk, not abuse to a child, not abuse to a person. You can't call names and be abusive. That's just not a thing. Like, calling names would be like, to be abusive with calling names is like every fourth word is something you're calling them or something like that. And then even then, it's just like your language selection is wild. Requiring their permission to go anywhere or do anything. I want to know context, because this is used a lot. I've heard this argument used a lot. Well, he always asks me what I'm going to go do, what I'm doing it, who I'm doing it with. Okay, how many times have you went out to party? What are you wearing when you go party? Are you going to the clubs, or are you just going to go hang out with your friends at their house? There's a wild differences here. Okay. Any behavior that tries to change or control you, your movements, your body, how you dress, how you interact with, how much you interact with them, any attempt to monitor your movements, any attempt to read or monitor your writings, journals, or communications with others. If they don't bring you peace, they need to go. Anyone who can't be an adult in conflict needs therapy to grow up. I agree with that bottom piece here. Yeah, the change and control you, kind of weird. You should appreciate somebody for who they are. Your movements, your body. Yeah, to control your body is actually part of monogamy. Like, literally, your body is now my problem as well. Like, it's my concern. I have to concern myself with your body, because if we're out and some dude grabs your ass and you don't like it, is it not my concern that he grabs your ass? It's your body. Why would I need to control your body? If he grabs your ass, you do something about it. No, that's not how it works. No, if a dude grabs your ass while I'm with you, whether you like it or not, actually is kind of beyond the point. That's fight. Like, I could die. I could accidentally kill somebody. Like, yeah, your body becomes my concern. If you're with me, it's part of what it is. Just like my body becomes your concern. You're not going to try to tell me that you're not going to try to control who I kiss or whose pussy I eat. Of course you are, rightfully fucking so. I should not be going out there and using my hands to fill up on a girl's tits. But if you tell me, well, you can't be grabbing that girl's tits, and I'm gonna say, well, no, control my body. You're abusing me? No, that's okay. How you dress, how you interact with, and how much you interact with. Yeah. If I don't like the person or if I don't think they're safe and you're mine, I will tell you that I don't like them. I don't like you interacting with them. If you choose to continue to interact with them, I'm not going to force you to stop. But you're definitely going to, your importance has just been lost to me. Like, the importance of this relationship doesn't mean shit to you. Also, guess what? Doesn't mean shit to me no more. We end this until we can find somebody better, I guess. Or one of us decides to leave because you don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? But if they don't bring you peace, yeah, you should definitely look for somebody who does bring you peace. There is a certain amount of discussion and argument that should be made throughout your relationship. Absolutely. Like, it is good to check each other, check yourself, check each other. This is good to do. This allows you to both grow together. Give me a second here. Sabotage. When you have goals, no matter what they are, this person always impedes on them somehow. Okay, again, we need some nuance here. When I have goals, when I want to fuck my best friend, my boyfriend always seems to get in the way. You're so abusive. No, okay, context. But if you are like wanting to like be a boss babe and he doesn't want you to be a boss babe, he shouldn't sabotage you. But if he doesn't want you to be a boss babe, then he should find somebody who's not a fucking boss babe. It's absolutely fine to not want somebody who wants to be the best at everything they do. That is fine. Like that. You don't need somebody who's like, I need to make 6 figures in the next 10 years. It's not necessary. Life has went on well before anybody in the world was making 6 figures every year. So life will continue on when we get back down to everybody making less than 100K every year. Like, it will be okay. We'll make it through. Silent treatment. Being quiet, being too quiet is abuse. The fuck are you talking about? Manipulation. Manipulation. Sure. But abuse is wild. Sleep deprivation. Think of times when a woman is trying to sleep or relax and her partner creates a situation that is uncomfy for her on purpose. Huh. Actually, I always see TV shows and everything of the opposite. It's usually the man's like finally getting some sleep. Literally, I just seen a video of this not a couple months ago. Man's out in his car sleeping after he got off work. His fucking girl comes out to him. It's like, what are you sleeping in the car? What are you doing? He's like, I just need to sleep for a little bit. She's like, why don't you come in this house? I was like, I just need some peace. She's like, well, come on. Okay, then I'll get in the car with you. And he locks her out. And it's like, do you not recognize that dude needed some sleep? He's been working. He needed some sleep. He can't come in the house because you're going to ask him to do this. You're going to ask him to do that. You're going to ask him about this. You're going to ask him about that. You're going to say something. You're going to want to talk because you haven't had nobody to talk to today, which is fair for you to feel that way. But recognize that he maybe needs some sleep. I'm just saying, it just seems like that's the opposite like from what I've seen and what's portrayed through TV and everything, it's usually the opposite. This person, it just says nagging. Nagging is now abuse. Damn, man, we are the primary beneficiaries of abuse, or the primary victims of abuse at this point. If nagging is abuse, we're definitely see. And this one says manipulation. Manipulation is not abuse. Manipulation is actually its own entire term. Literally, it's an entire own term. Abuse and manipulation is like fraud and theft. Two different terms that don't mean the same thing. Maybe the ending outcome is the same, but there are two different terms here because of two different things. It's wild. See? Constantly taunting and nitpicking in the name of fun. See, again, like name calling and shit like that. Not abuse. It's not bullying, sure. Again, bullying, different word than abuse. Bullying might include abuse, but bullying does not necessarily have to include physical abuse, which is what abuse is for the most part. Like, you have to be in their physical space for abuse to occur. The only other time that abuse occurs when it's not physical is like you could call it financial abuse, but even then I don't like that term. Financial abuse doesn't sound right. It's more like financial using. It's financial what's the term? I'm having a hard time thinking about the word, but yeah, abuse again. It just doesn't seem like the word that I would use. A violent environment via emotional dysregulation. Slamming doors and huffing and puffing. God. A violent environment, the necessary thing for the violent environment is the violence. Violence is not a thing that just happens to the air. Violence is not a thing that a person can just do to nobody. Violence, again, is a specific term that indicates threatening actions, movements, even like terroristical threatening is not violent in itself. It's maybe rhetoric that has violent overtones or undertones, whatever you want to call it, but it's not necessarily violence. Violence involves them showing an extreme amount of aggression at somebody physically. Slamming doors is violent only to the door. It does not create a violent environment. Like, if you slam a door 100 times near a calm person, that calm person does not turn violent. It does not matter. Like, that calm person doesn't turn violent just because of the slamming doors. That's why huffing and puffing. Are you fucking for sure? Are you for sure? Because huffing and puffing happens in the middle of fucking sex. Consensual sex. I don't know. This one's the worst one. He expressed his preferences. Oh my God. He told me the things that he liked when I did it. The abuse. Terrible. How many music artists have been abused? Because they're like, yeah, that's not my type of music. You just hit me. I think, I think, I think I've hit Sabrina Carpenter several times, and I've abused Sabrina Carpenter. That music's not for me. It's not my preference. I don't like that type of music. Please don't play it. And if you do play it, just know that I'm not going to appreciate it. I guess I'm abusing Sabrina Carpenter. Anybody else who wants to fucking listen to it. Sorry. Not sorry. Go fuck yourself. Isolating you from family and friends. Yeah, that can be like I guess how I'd call that manipulation of some sort. Lying is also not abuse. Withholding affection. Okay, the rest of it, like intimidation, gaslight, that's kind of crazy stuff. But that's not really, again, abuse. Threatening to physically hit you. Until he actually hits you, it's not abuse. Withholding affection, though. Yeah, like sexless marriages exist. And withholding sex would be deemed what? Withholding affection? Seems to me like that's again portrayed, and from my understanding, is the reverse. The woman is usually the one to withhold the affections from the man. I'm gonna be done with that. I'm done with that. I'm done talking about it. Okay, ridiculous shit. Women are insane. Men are retarded. This is what we live with in the modern 2026. All right. Let's fucking berate you, men. Teach y'all. Oh, Josh, what kind of right do you have to say what can or can't be? I can tell you this right now. I am the best man that every one of my exes has been with, besides maybe one. Maybe one. And even then, there wasn't enough time for me to actually predict whether or not I would have been better than him or not. Besides that, though, every single one of them, I am the best man that they've had. Was I the best man that I could be? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not even going to go claim that. Not even going to claim that. And that's where the list comes in, is like these are things that I've realized that I could have done better, should have done better, will do better. Now that I went through all this shit, if you will. So that's why I successfully been four long-term relationships. Two of them lasted over a year and a half. One of them lasted 2-3 years, and the other one 12 years. Yeah, like 12 years. So long-term relationships I am phenomenal with. I'm a great boyfriend, not a great husband, but an absolutely fucking fantastic boyfriend. I will be a great husband, but I've not been, or not always been. I was a great husband at the beginning of both my marriages. I was a great husband up until the time my first wife left me. The only thing that I did different was this right here. And from my worldview, which we will discuss more and more the longer the show goes on, and you can piece it all together. I would love more conversations about it and to nitpick my own worldview. Um, it's hard to meet a good interviewer, really good interviewer who's going to really dissect into my worldview and stuff. So I have to kind of do it on my own, which is fine. Which is fine. But that's good. I can do that fairly reasonably well. But for my worldview, there is a hierarchy of humans. Uh, Two of the hierarchy standards are based on your sex. The other three hierarchy is based on age. There are different tiers as well. Um, who you should respect is not who is most important. Who is most important is not who you should respect. Um, whose time you should cherish does not equal who you should respect or who you should be the most important, who you protect, on and on. You see what I'm saying? Hierarchy of, first off, respect. Now, respect is, let's look it up just to make sure. Let's look it up just to make sure. We're going to look up exact definition. Respect definition: the act of recognizing the inherent worth of a person, idea, or thing. Now, we are talking about a person. I am talking about the recognizing the inherent worth of a person. All people have a baseline respect. They have a baseline respect that they should automatically get based on being a human. Okay. The more I know of what you have done wrong in your life, the lower your respect gets. Okay. And now, that is not to say that your respect only goes down if I learn about your past. There may be things in your past that maybe go this way, and then I'm like, oh, okay, no, they're a little bit better than what I thought. Or maybe they've learned who they are. And so it's like, oh, so it varies person to person, absolutely. But everybody gets a baseline respect. Okay. Now, so I don't start this off disrespecting anybody. Everybody has a baseline respect. And based on what I see and what I know, my respect will either go up or down, depending on if it's what I find to be morally reprehensible or not. This being said, there is the moral respect line of the normal man. There's the respect line of a woman. There's the respect line of an elder man and an elder woman being just slightly above his. Very slightly above his. Not nearly as much of an increase from like a middle-aged man and a middle-aged woman. They have a good gap. Okay. But an elder woman and an elder man have a much smaller gap. A child, their respect is much lower. It does not matter about their sex. Male, female, does not matter. When you're a child, when you're under the age of 16, 17 is when you start to really like become an actual person in your own like right and the way of like being able to logically conclude things. Up until that age, you're lower and you're at the same, male or female. Now, this is not to say I believe that a male child has lower inherent worth as a person than a female woman, a female child. I believe that the inherent worth is higher in a female child than it is in a male child. Because I believe, in my worldview, a woman is born with most of her worth intact. And it is only through pain, suffering, and trauma that her self-worth is actually diminished. That her inherent worth, sorry, not her self-worth. I don't give a fuck about what she views her own self as worth. Her inherent worth diminishes the more time, pain, and trauma come her way. It is diminished. It is. Now this is very general, very general. I'm talking 40% of the female population, just like I'm talking about 40% of the male population. Okay, I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about the majority. I'm not talking about the majority. I'm talking about the a plurality. I'm talking about a plurality. Okay, so I'm talking about the biggest chunk of women and the biggest chunk of men. This is what I'm talking about when I say generalized, because there's a good at least 20% on a higher end of one spectrum of their self-worth decreases even more than the normal one. There's a 20% that their self-worth actually increases, and then there's another 10% in which their self-worth just bottoms out, and that's the ones that usually unalive themselves at a very young age. And then there's another 10% in which pain, trauma, and age actually fundamentally fucking just skyrockets their inherent worth. Okay, so I'm talking about a plurality, not a majority, but in general, a woman's inherent worth is diminished. Look at it as a pyramid through time. A pyramid throughout time becomes less of a pyramid through erosion and just time in general. Okay. A man's inherent worth is not really there. They have to build the pyramid. The pyramid is already built for the woman and it degrades through time. The man's pyramid is not built and they have to build it up. Okay. So this is why a older man is much closer to the inherent worth of a elder female, and why the gap is bigger at a middle-aged, but the gap is equal at the bottom, not because the worth is equal, but because neither one of them have the concept of what their worth is or what their inherent worth is. And because of that, because they're just retarded, they're ignorant, they're idiots, they're kids, they get the same respect as a retard, honestly. Then you have like an importance scale of like, who are you saving? All right. So you got female children, a good gap, male children. Then you got way down on the list, because children, number one, protect them at all fucking costs. Then you have women, men, then the elderly, because their time left is so small unless they have like fundamental knowledge that is necessary to pass on. They get relegated to the bottom rung of let's make sure that they survive. Now it would have been different in an older time because they would have all the knowledge that we would need to inherit. Nowadays we have AI, we have fucking computers. Their importance is has degraded a lot, which scares the shit out of me because I will be old one day. Not too far from the fucking future. Fuck you, haters, but that is true. It's true. I'm gonna have to go grab a drink here in a second. Let me finish this. Um, Trying to figure out where to go with this exactly. So within this hierarchy of like, now, this is when I say the importance check, what I mean to say is the important to protect. Now, if we're talking about who actually, so there would be two different charts. There would be one that maintains society, and then there would be one that is necessary for the prolongment of society. If we're going on what's important to maintain society, what are the importance of that? Well, then you have male children up here. Then you have female children just very slightly below them. And then you have male and you have female. Do you see the almost imperceptible dip there between male and female? And this is maintaining society. There is a difference though. And then you get to older males, older females. Older females have a much less importance in maintaining society. Now, in furthering society and keeping society and its continuation for a prolonged state of time, you have women, you have men, you have young women, you have young men, you have old men, old women. You can't even see their importance in prolonging society. Okay. Now, this is just biology and knowledge based. The older men are going to, first off, there's still a lot of the older men are still fertile. They're still able to produce children. They also contain a lot of the knowledge that would be useful for the younger generation of men. But if you notice, though, that it is vice versa on the younger scale, women have an advantage against men. Women are much more important to the prolongment of society. Now, based on this worldview that I want you to understand, like the hierarchy that men's roles in society are very important. A woman's role in society is extremely fucking important. And I believe that they are almost always the better sex. But there are things, again, there is the dips, and if your life experience is morally unacceptable to me, you definitely dip down. So that this is again pluralities. Okay, but let's just say the plurality of the woman that, listen, 80% is amazing. 65%, 60%, I can work with it. I can work with it, and I can help her become more for me, and I will become more for her. Absolutely. But let's just say a 75% woman. This is how you should treat a woman who meets 75% of your standards. And as a man, I fucking know your standards. I fucking know them, okay? More than likely, your standards are easy to match. It's literally a choice of the women's choice. The women could easily match 75% of what you want. They might not want to choose to match what your 75% is, but it's much easier for a man to find 75% than it is a woman to find 65. Yes, that's why I said it is much easier for a man to find 75 to 80% of what he wants in a woman than it is for a woman to find even 60 to 65% of what she wants in a man. Okay. But if you are one of those lucky motherfuckers who finds what you want in a woman, I'm telling you from failure and from success. This is my point of view, my opinion. And this goes out to you, Blaine. This goes out to you, Zane. Okay? It goes out to my boys. And any other boys that I happen to have in the future. Fingers crossed. This is the things that you should do when it comes to a woman. Treat them preciously. Watch Lord of the Rings. See how Smeagol is. Okay? They choose my precious for a reason. He's intelligent about it. But he's so upset, like almost obsessive and passionate. It's like a passion that's obsessive. He's obsessed about the passion. Okay? Now, a woman is not a ring. A woman is not a thing. And a woman is not an object. So there is definitely variations in this that we will have to discuss. For sure. Talking to you, Blaine. Talking to you, Zane. Audience, you understand. You should already understand the difference. If you don't, this is not the podcast for you. Go find something with Skibbity. Okay? For real. Protect, cherish, and appreciate. That is what precious means to me. When you treat something preciously, when you treat someone preciously, you protect them at all fucking cost. You cherish the shit out of them, and you appreciate them. Okay, you show the appreciation, you made it known, you communicate the appreciation, and you cherish them. Anybody else ask about them, or they're on a fucking pedestal, and you want to show them off. You want to show them off. You want to talk about them and tell the world about them. Okay, protect, keep them safe, not just from physical harms, but from the world, from everything that might try to manipulate and fucking degrade who she is as a person. Okay? She should be a student that you can teach. Someone that you believe has the capacity to learn from the things in life that you know that she doesn't know. Okay? She should be willing. She should be somebody who you look at as who would be willing to and willfully, like willing, but also like looking forward. They have the drive to actually try to learn the things that they don't know that you do know. But also, you should treat them as a teacher, somebody who they also have life experiences and insights that you need to gain the knowledge from, that you need to learn from. So it's a student and a teacher at the same time. She should be a princess that you revere wholeheartedly. You are on your knees. The whole ideal of proposing in the first place is you are bowing to her, and you are wanting her to knight you. You are presenting her a gift so that she might knight you and make you rise as a new man, as her man, her knight. So she should be a princess that should be revered and protected at all cost. Keep her behind you when there's danger. Direct, but at the same time, direct her. Like she should be the queen that you respect and listen to. So it should be the princess that you revere and that you protect, that you should be able to be like, listen, I need you to do this. And she does it. You know that she will do it. Like, listen, I need you to do this. And when you're serious about it, she doesn't fucking question it. She should be on the ball with what you're doing. If you're meaning it, it's not some willy-nilly, I just need you to do this for laughs or for views. No, no, no. I'm telling you to do this because it's fucking seriously important. Like, if I tell you to do this, you have to do it. Our lives may depend on it, in fact. Okay? Like, this is the part of the princess part is that you're a knight, she's your princess. You revere her. You see her as like an angel come to earth, but you're also protecting that angel. You're not letting any fucking thing happen to that angel at all. But she's also she's also contradictorily, she's also the queen that you respect and that you are willing to have a conversation, a dialogue, a discussion, a debate, an argument, whatever it is, on mutual growing grounds, and be like, you know what? You make some good points. I make some good points. Can you see my points? I can see your points. If you can't see my points, let me explain them to you further. Because when you see my points, it maybe change your points a little bit. I'm not saying your points are wrong. I'm just saying that there seems to be information that you're missing. There's definitely was information I was missing. That's why I'm going to change my points a little bit. But you have a good discussion back and forth. You listen. You respect her. You say, I understand what you mean, Queen, but I'm telling you, this is the best choice of the battlefield. She listens to you. Or you're like, oh, I didn't fucking thought about that. I never thought about that, Queen. Of course, you're right here. Let's do this battle plan or this fucking scheme, whatever it is, It's like, so she's your princess that you revere and protect at all fucking costs, but she's the queen that you listen to and respect. Okay? Now, you should be duty bound to this woman. The women that you choose, you are duty bound to her. And this includes no entitlement at first. There is no entitlement at first, but you are still duty bound. You are still duty bound because it is a woman. It is a woman that you treat as precious. It does not matter how she views you. It does not matter if you are meaningless to her. You are duty bound to her. If you want her, or if you need, or if you want her, or if you love her, you are duty bound to her with no entitlement at first. Okay? It is only until your worth is proven and that she chooses you explicitly, when it is completely clear to both you and her that you are the man, that she also wants, that she wants you to be duty bound to her. It is at that time that entitlement can take place. There is a certain amount of entitlement. Now it is very limited and contextual, but there is the entitlement of a great knight or a lord, the same entitlement that he would receive from his queen. There are certain benefits and gifts and treatment that a great lord is afforded that a peasant is not. And it is this entitlement that you are due when you are explicitly chosen as the man. Okay. Now this can also include queen treatment to a great lord, but it could also include treatment that is more physical in nature. Eventually, it should definitely be more physical in nature, as that is what man and woman were created to do in the first place. So this is a quick kind of overview of how I believe that you should treat a woman. And this is more based on, again, my worldview is different from a lot of other people's. It's very contextual in the sense of like, I choose logically what I choose to support. It's not based on a religion. It may have religious connotations or underpinnings for sure. Pillars, maybe you would even say. But there's about a certain amount of just like logical consistency to it that I find appealing. And this is why my worldview is built around this. And this is why I believe that as a man, it is your job to Be the best man possible to the woman that you want or that you love, whether she loves you or loves you or not. And if she completely rejects you, then you're no longer duty bound. Okay, you no longer have to treat her with all the respect that would be due to a position like a woman. You're a woman, should be. Um, but up until the point that she completely rejects you, you are duty bound to the woman that you want or that you love, and to show her your worth, show her your intentions, prove yourself. Only then can you actually receive the love of the woman, and then even then, treat her precious, cherish her, appreciate her every fucking week. It doesn't have to be every day, but every week you should let her know how much you appreciate her and cherish her. Make sure she knows that no matter what happens, you got her. She is safe. Whatever the fuck happens, um, even if we have to die together, God damn it! Like, if I know that even though I can't protect you, I'm gonna still try to protect you, and we're both gonna die. That's fine. I'll take that. I'll take that. Or I can get away and you die. No, I'll still take the one where I attempt and die with you. Like, that is just part of what it is. Um, Now, children involved, it gets a little bit more complicated, but that's for another fucking conversation. I'm talking about just you and a woman. Okay. Learn from her. Try to teach her. Make sure you shouldn't be messing with a woman who's not willing to learn, who's not willing to change a little bit, who's not willing to recognize your own worth in what you know, what your life experiences are. A fucking princess and a queen. Princess and a queen. She's a princess 40% of the time. She's a queen 40% of the time. And you know what the other 20% is, and I ain't gotta say it. Miniculture symbol. Y'all know. Y'all fucking know. Oh shit! Listen, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it short. I'm gonna save the Bonnie Blue shit. It's just me fucking watching myself, anyways. At this point, I think that was a good point, though. Blaine, Zane, any other man that needs to listen. I truly believe in this way, and this is how I'm now living my own personal life. The woman that I'm interested in, I am duty bound to her. And I will be so until I am told that I'm not the one that she wants. I expect nothing from her at all whatsoever, but I will give everything that I can, and then we'll see what happens. I have to prove my worth, and I'm fine with that. And I believe that every man, that's your job as a man, from my worldview, is prove your worth. I do look forward to hopefully having some sort of age dating discussion with my boy Hunter, our boy Hunter, the other member. So I really am looking forward to that. I've got good arguments, counter arguments, discussion points, why it makes moral sense. For certain, again, this is not general. This is even like for specific situations. An age gap relationship could actually be the best thing that could happen. That's just general arguments as to things that I believe. I think it would be interesting to have. That's why I've been putting it off. I had it on an episode or two ago where I was going to discuss it, and then I never did. And I was like, wait a minute. And something come up with me and Hunter. We were talking, and it kind of made me like, oh, he has a different view of this than I do. This would be interesting to have a discussion on camera about. So hopefully in the future that comes out. Maybe the next week or two, I'm going to try to get his ass out here. Fucking lifestyles of the poor and losers, I guess. Fucking never have time to do the good shit. Had a great time last night out hanging out with some of the coworkers. Fucking, just enjoying ourselves. Good times. I had a good time tonight. I mean, I'm sorry it didn't go as long as I planned, but kind of running out of man on the log style right now. Running out of energy. I gotta go get a drink anyways, so I figure end it now. We got through a good smart news discussion. The last bit, it's for you men out there dating, Blaine, Zane, Nora. Get you a man that treats you the way I just said. My babies, love you guys. Thank you all for listening. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all are here when I come back, whenever the fuck that is. Y'all have a good night.